Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Akil and welcome back to another special video for the month, guys. In this video, we're going to be going over my ranking of every video game I've played. Yes, this is going to be a big one, so we're going to jump right into it very soon. But first off, it's obviously my opinion. You gotta respect that everyone has a different opinion, different taste, right? Secondly, these are games that I've either played the most, like spent a bunch of hours in or over the years playing a game, or I've completed the main story. Games that I didn't play as much or can't remember if I completed the story or never got far into the game, never completed the story, they're not going to be here. So that's a criteria for making the list. There's about 46 games, only 46. I know, right? It's kind of crazy, but these are games again I played the most and completed the stories for. So the main story for. So without further ado, let's jump right into this list and ranking, guys. And starting off at the bottom with one of two games I would give a 6 out of 10 to. Number 46 is Go Diego Go Safari Rescue. This is the most childish, kiddish game on this entire list. I only played it because, well, my brother was the one that was actually playing the game. He's like 5 years younger to me. So at the time, he was like 5. I must have been like 10. Yeah, 5, 10, whatever. Anyway, regardless though, this game is just not really for me. It's the worst game I played. But it gets a 6 because I didn't dislike it. It's just very childish, I would say. It does its job well, I guess, for a kids game, but I haven't thought about it in like such a long time. Alright, 45 is Carnival Games. This might have been the second game I got on the Wii, but unfortunately, I can't be blinded by nostalgia because, man, if you look at the graphics now, go search online Carnival Games from like, when did it come out? 2007, but I did not get it back then. But I got it a few years after when we got the Wii in like '09. But anyway, if you look at the graphics, it has not aged the best at all. The game aside, it it doesn't stand out compared to some of the games now. That's just one of the downsides of playing a game from back in the day. Alright, now getting into the games I like, the 7 out of 10 games. And 44 is Fortnite. Yes, I know putting Fortnite this low is very controversial, but in my opinion, Fortnite is just a fun game to play by yourself or with others, but there's no story. If Fortnite had a story, I think it would be a lot more enjoyable, but I think people don't care about the war and stuff like that. I mean, if they made a Fortnite movie, sure, which for sure I feel like they will at some point. Just you wait, guys. But Fortnite as a game, it's still enjoyable. Like I like doing death runs every now and again, but the main game itself, I've not played an actual game of proper Fortnite in quite some time now, a few years I would say. So there's that. But it's one of the games in terms of like uh replayability, like how you say like rewatchability for a movie, like in terms of like the replay value for a game like this, yeah, it's definitely high. It's one of the games I played the most. If I made a list, a ranking just specifically based on how much I played the game, it will be up there for sure. But Fortnite, in terms of a game itself, isn't really for me. It's still enjoyable, hence why I give it a 7, but I can't put it that high compared to some of these other games. Alright, 43 is Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. It's the first game of its type and era, I guess, if you will, where you put a character down on a portal and it appears in the TV screen, on the TV screen, in the TV screen, whatever. And yeah, I like this game. I dabbled into some of the other Skylanders games. I think we had like Swap Force or something, but this is the one I'm pretty sure I remember finishing the game and owning quite of the figurines of the game. So that at the time I didn't think Spyro was like its own IP, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, Spyro's its own IP. Or maybe I did know, I don't know. But anyway, Skylanders, yeah, it's good, it's enjoyable. Definitely some nostalgia to be had with this one. 42 is Disneyland Adventures, and I like this game for what it is. It's a cute little wholesome game. If you like the Disney parks, this game is for you. Again, no real story here, but it's just a fun little wholesome game. Skylanders may have a story, but it's more on the kiddie side, so there's that. And that's the thing. Some of these games are a little more like tame for what they are, especially Disneyland Adventures, I would say. But I like the Disney parks, and I definitely enjoyed this game for what it was. 41 is Trivia Pursuit Live, and this game is fun when you play with other people. By yourself, it's not as fun. We do own Trivia Pursuit Live, I believe we still do now. We own Jeopardy, so I would say I would group those games or those games with this one too. But this is the one I played. I played the most. It's a fun game. I can't lie. I did lose against the CPU when I just randomly wanted to try one day. One time I won and another time I lost. That I do know. But yeah, it's a solid game. No story here. It's just a fun little party game. It's a good game to get your brain working. So yeah, so if you want to test your knowledge, then might as well play this game. All right, 40 is Assassin's Creed Revelations. I did double into the AC world, and I did want to play the Ezio trilogy just to say that I played something in the Assassin's Creed franchise. I know it's very popular and beloved. And for what it's worth, it's a solid little trilogy. It's just these games aren't fully for me. They're just fun little games with a cool like combat system, and I love the parkour style stuff in these games. But the trilogy went down for me personally. Revelations is my least favorite just because of the dark look and the vibe and tone of the game, and I wasn't in love with the story, but it's still fun to be had. I still don't mind it, but there were times it was pretty frustrating, and that's another thing. If a game is frustrating for the sake of it, like if I keep dying several times, even though I can change the game, when I realize that it won't hit the same for me. So yeah, that's why it's not that high. 39 is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Definitely better than the sequel that came after it. And yeah, this is where I started to fall off a little bit from the trilogy, but it still had what made AC2 work for me. Which yes, obviously it's my favorite one, the trilogy, but it's not that much higher than where this is overall. There's a couple games in between this and that. So yeah, but I enjoyed this game for what it is, but not amazing personally. 38 is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This is the last game I finished, and I wanted to finish this game before actually doing this video, hence why we are now in like the almost end of June time period. Normally I do these videos close to like early June or like close to mid June, right? But I think this is the first time for a special video this year, at least I would say, I'm pretty sure from the top of my head. I never checked the dates of the others, but point is that this is like later in the month. And that's just because I was waiting a few days to really soak in my thoughts and all that. So there's that. But this game is good. I like this game. I had not played an MGS game before, and because it was a remake, I was like, all right, might as well. And Snake is just such a badass. I love the voice acting. And Eva, is that name Eva? Eve, yeah. She is such an attractive character. I'm not even joking. I don't know why she's designed like that, but still, goddamn, goddamn, yeah. I can't lie though. There's a lot of elements of this game that just wasn't really for me. Like the whole backstory about like the war and stuff. I kind of found a bit dull and boring personally. But the gameplay is fun. I do like it. I can't lie, for a stealth game, I wasn't being really stealthy at all. I was basically taking out guys left and right. So that part kind of failed. But overall, I still enjoyed the game. I still had a good time with it. But I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. It's still a solid game though. I just was not in love with it overall. All right, 37 is Halo Combat Evolved. This is the only Halo game on this list just because it's the only one I fully completed the main story, or I guess you can say in this case campaign for. I did half of the second game's campaign or story, I would say, but I never finished it. I bought the Master Chief Collection before the show came out in 2022 thinking I would finish it, but nope, that definitely didn't happen. Now I know the games are coming on Xbox slowly but surely. It's just too late for me. I've just lost interest in playing these games now. But I can say, hey, at least I played the first Halo game. So that's definitely something kind of like, hey, I can say I at least played 3 Assassin's Creed games, right? But this is a solid fighting, solid shooting sci-fi action game, I would say. Master Chief is cool. I would say for what it is. Again, I like the voice acting. I wasn't in love with the story, but there was one gun I always loved using in this game. I think it might be the main gun, but besides that, it wasn't like mind blowing to me overall. It was just a fun little game. All right, 36 is Mass Effect, and yes, this is another franchise and series, if you would, that I dabbled into as well. This was last year, and I enjoyed the trilogy for what it is. Yes, I only played the trilogy, not the fourth game as well, because I did hear some very controversial things, and I know John's not in the fourth game, so there's that. But the first Mass Effect game is good. It was cool to see like a fantasy RPG game basically, and yeah, the world was definitely immersive and expansive. Definitely took inspiration from Star Wars and other IP as well. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, not the best thing ever, but I enjoyed it. 35 is Mass Effect 2. This game, we got introduced to another video game character that I personally found attractive. Oh my god, what's the name? Is it Miranda? I think it is, yeah. So there's that. I don't know what it is about how the way these characters are designed. Anyway, Mass Effect 2 is good. It's enjoyable. The story definitely was fleshed out a little more here, hence why I put it above the original. 34 is Assassin's Creed 2. This is my favorite one in the trilogy. It's the one that started off the trilogy for me, obviously, and it was my introduction to the AC world overall, and I enjoyed it. The parkour system is hella fun. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the look of the game. It was definitely vibrant and lit up nicely and all that. And I really like the concept of him, like, of the game jumping back and forth between like what was happening in current day and him going into the world as this so-called avatar viewer. So yeah, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 2. It was a fun game for what it was. 33 is Mass Effect 3. The moment the game started, I was like, wow, this already is probably going to be the best game. And it was. The story is really well done, but again, I don't love it. There are some really frustrating parts at times. There's a lot that these games have to offer, a lot of lore, and sometimes I just don't really care. But overall, it's still a good game, a good solid trilogy, and a nice way to wrap up the series, if you will. Alright, 32 is Rise of the Tomb Raider, another trilogy of games I played. Action, adventure storytelling, some of my favorite, is one of my favorite genres ever. Second, actually, behind fantasy. So, these games were naturally made for me. I naturally gravitated towards these games. But this is my least favorite of the games. It wasn't the most interesting. I wasn't a fan of the full-on vibe and setting, but I still enjoyed it again for what it was. 31 is Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. I never finished this game, but I do have a ton of nostalgia for it, and I have to put it on here because this is just such a special game to me. I may have finished, I think, one of the Xenoverse games, I can't remember, but overall, I have a ton of nostalgia for this game. I never finished it. It's one of, I think, two games, story games, base games on the Switch that I actually never finished. There's another one we'll get to much higher up. But anyway, it's basically a Mario styled platformer in with the OG Dragon Ball storyline when Goku's a kid, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I never finished it. I can't remember which part I got stuck on, but overall, this is such a really cool concept for a Dragon Ball game and any video game based on the IP for that matter too. Alright, 30 is Big Beach Sports, another game I played on the Wii. This game is enjoyable for what it is, but I can't remember what sports exactly were on here. I'm pretty sure cricket and maybe volleyball was. I also remember playing the second game. I think there's like a dune buggy a sport in it, but the first game is where it's at in my opinion because this is the one that I do have more of the nostalgia for. I do remember playing most, so yeah. Alright, now these next four games I would all give a 7.5 out of 10 to. So these aren't just good games, these are really good games in my opinion. Alright, 29 is We Play. Tanks carried this so hard. The other mini games are good though in my opinion, but Tanks carried this so hard. Without Tanks, I don't think people would really care and give a shit about We Play at all. But We Play is good. I enjoyed We Play for what it was. So yeah, by the way, if I said Wii Sports by accident, I apologize. I don't think I did, but anyway, yeah, We Play is it's solid. It's really solid, and Tanks carried it hard. 28 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This is gonna sound so weird, but in Rise of the Tomb Raider, they took away Lara's beauty. Here, they brought her beauty back and made her hot and attractive again. I'm sorry, I sound so weird when I fucking go crazy on these fictional characters. Anyway, it's I don't know again what it is about why they look the way they look, but anyway, this game was a little more for me because I do enjoy like some of the South American mythology type of stuff. That was cool and all, and I do enjoy the setting and the vibe, but it just was not like the first game, which obviously is my favorite in the trilogy. But it was cool. We got to see some of a backstory and all that. So yeah, 27 is Alan Wake. This is one of the games I played this year alongside MGS Delta Snake Eater, and one other game we'll talk about later on. But yeah, this is a really solid game. I enjoyed the story for what it is. I had to change the game mode from normal to easy, I'm pretty sure, or whatever mode it was after easy. Yeah, it was just because it was getting a little bit intense at one point, and I want to actually be immersed in the story as well, so I can fully appreciate it. Because here's the thing, gaming has now really advanced to a point where they are on the level of like film and TV in terms of like storytelling now. So yeah, and the fact that the game is divided into like episodes, it also really really helps too. Yeah, like I'm currently playing Life is Strange 2. I played the first episode. There's 4 more to go, and like there's like 5 episodes in the game, so there's that. But yeah, Alan Wake, really solid game. I like that it's a mishmash of different genres, but I've heard really good things about Alan Wake 2, and it's a totally different game. So I'm very on board for that. So yeah, we shall see what happens when I play the game. Alright, 26 is The Last of Us Part 2. A very controversial game for sure, especially when it came out. But I loved it. Sorry, I didn't love it. I loved the season of it. I take it back. I really liked it. I love parts of this game. Abby's story is the one that made me really appreciate the game for what it is. Ellie's story was not hitting for me as much as I thought it would, but Abby's story, even in the show, really, from what I hope season 3 will really hit for me. But yeah, Last of Us Part 2, I really like. Sorry if I said I love it before, that was an accident, my bad. But yeah, I really like Last of Us Part 2. But there are things that I do wish were improved in the game. Some parts were a little bit difficult for me. Again, this game I did have to change the difficulty to. Um, Maybe I did in the first game, but overall, it's a really solid game. So yeah. All right, now we get into the games that I love, the 8 out of 10 games. So 25, guys. That's more than half this list because if you do the maths, 46 divided by 2 is 23. So it's a little more than halfway. Yeah, for games that I generally love that I played so far. Anyway, 25 is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Yes. Now, I put this high when I originally made this list like a couple years ago, but then I realized, you know what? I can't be blinded by nostalgia. So hence why I'm putting it here. This was the first game that I played that really made me appreciate like crossover games and stuff. It was so cool. Like Solid Snake is there and Sonic is there. It's just such a cool game. Like those are the DLC characters, I would say. But still, it's so cool. We got all this different IP mixed together. And I want the Smash movie. I don't care how long it takes. I do want the Smash movie. I think it's possible. I'm pretty sure they said they never want to make one. Illumination or someone said they don't want to do one. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. At some point, we are going to get Avengers vs. X-Men. I mean, literally, Doomsday might actually be that Avengers Doomsday. And hell, we might even get Marvel vs. DC at some point. I don't know. But yeah. But anyway, I love this game. It's very nostalgic to me because it was so cool playing with all these different characters. Alright, 24 is Tomb Raider from 2013. Yeah, 2013, yes. This game's awesome. I love this game. It was right in my alley, man. Lara, man. Good lord, is she fine? I don't care what anyone says. If you don't think so, I don't know what to say. Yeah, like she's like one of the queens of gaming, basically, in terms of like, female characters. Yeah. And this game had this like survival aspect to it, hence why it's called the Survivor Trilogy. But this game really had that vibe to it. Yeah, this is the one I enjoyed the most, the one I loved the most. Yeah, Tomb Raider 2015 was awesome. I loved it. All right, 23 is The Quarry, one of the most interesting video games I've ever played. And I feel like as we go on to this, you notice that theme running as well. Like games that have something special, like a hook to offer, not just in terms of story, but in terms of the experience. And for this, it's how immersive and cinematic it feels. This is the most cinematic video game I've ever played in my life because it felt so real in terms of like the graphics and all that. Like the character that Justice Smith is playing, which looks like it's modeled right after him, which is crazy and scary to think about. But yeah, I love this game. I love The Quarry. It's not going to be for everyone. I know it's the same people that made Until Dawn, and Until Dawn, I would like to say and think that is better received and more love, but I love The Quarry. It was a great game, and I actually played this game twice. This is one of the only story-based games I think I've actually like replayed the story just to get a different ending of. So yeah. All right, 22 is Arkham Asylum. This game was so much fun. I loved it. It made me fall in love with the world of Batman even more. And yeah, this is one of the first more like serious mature games I played when I was a teenager. I think it was like 16, 15 at the time. Yeah, this was awesome. I loved it. I know I was a couple years late to it, but who cares? At the end of the day, I loved Arkham Asylum. It was great. 21 is Arkham City. He took everything that the first game did and just amplified it. Yes, I loved Arkham City for what it was. It was just such an expansive game, and yeah, one of the only super games I played because this list doesn't have that many, which is unfortunate. Because one, some of the games that have come out have not got the best reception, and two, the games I have played at Superior Base are more like mobile games, like Contest of Champions, Future Fight, Injustice. I mainly played on mobile, so yeah. I mean, I think I dabbled into two on console, but yeah, I don't think I finished the game in terms of story. All right, 2019-18 is the entire Disney Infinity trilogy, and it's pretty much in the order of when they came out. So 20 is Disney Infinity from 2013, and I remember again this game and being so amazed by the idea of it. It's just such a cool concept. Basically, what Skylanders did, but taking it one step further. What if we can combine all these Disney IP together? I think that's so cool in my opinion. So yeah. And then 19, we have Disney Infinity 2.0. We're taking one step further. Now we got Marvel characters. So we got the Avengers, we got the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Ultimate Spider-Man characters, and some other characters were added as well. And then 18 is Disney 3.0, where this was just like now Star Wars characters, Star Wars Go. And you had Star Wars original trilogy characters, prequel trilogy characters, sequel trilogy characters, Clone Wars characters, and Rebels characters. So almost five different eras of Star Wars, if you will, even though it wasn't really, right? But still. But yeah, it's crazy how far they went in with it with Star Wars. And then they added all these other game modes in it. Yeah, this trilogy just got better and better. It kept escalating. And while there was story modes in these games were just so much fun in terms of like exploring the different not worlds, basically just making your own world. Like this takes Minecraft, gives Minecraft a run for money. Minecraft, you can put a terrain block. Here you can make a whole empty flat land from beginning. Like you can put an entire terrain block of land down. Like you can delete the whole world that you're standing on and you can just start from scratch. That's insane. You can't even do that in Minecraft, right? Yeah, anyway, I love these games. These games are so much fun. I know I said there's one other game higher up that I never finished story of, and no, it's not these games. But it wasn't the story. It was the experience and just playing as these different characters, like Mickey Mouse versus Iron Man is possible, Mickey Mouse versus Darth Vader is possible. It's just such a cool concept for a game. I really love these games for what they were. And without these games, especially the second game 2.0, I would have not played a game on the Xbox before. 2.0 was not available on Wii, which we had at the time. And then when the second game came out and it wasn't available on Wii, I begged my parents to get me an Xbox 360. And yes, even though these games are made for like people younger than me, I was like 14 at the time, I had to play. I really did. Alright, 17 is Life is Strange. Such a great game for what it is. Again, very neat concept and hook, like the whole rewinding vibe and aspect of it. So far, in the second game, I've not done that yet. It's very different. And also, we are getting a show adaptation of this, which will be very interesting. But yeah, I really dug it. I love the realism, but the graphics are not amazing. Even in the second game, too, I'm noticing that they look a little bit better, but the graphics are not amazing. I mean, I know this game came out when 2015. I didn't think it was that old. Even the second game, I didn't think it was that old. That game's like almost 10 years old now. The second game came out like 2018. Wow. But yeah, I love Life is Strange. I thought the story was well done. I love the voice acting and the characters and the realism. But unfortunately, the graphics held it back from you, I would say. Alright, 16 is Alien Isolation. This game is so good. I loved it for what it was. I wasn't like crazy in love with the story, but just the atmosphere of the game and the vibe and the tension. Like, I really thought the Xenomorph was going to pop out at times that it didn't pop out, which I love. I love that Alien Isolation is such a great game, and I'm glad we're getting a sequel. Will I play it? I don't know, but all I'm going to say is that I love this game, and I really hope Jurassic Park Survival, first of all, comes out, and also like this game too. Alright, 15, 14, 13... 12 is basically the Uncharted quadrilogy. So 15 is Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Really enjoyable, really fun. 14 is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Again, really enjoyable, really fun. 13 is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Again, really enjoyable, really fun. And 12 is Uncharted 4 A Thief's End. Really enjoyable, really fun. These games are just, again, made for me because they are action-adventure games. And I love the gameplay. I love the camera work, if you want to call it that. Yeah, the way the camera moves around and all that. It's just so much fun. These games are like movies at times, even in terms of the depth of like character and story. Like 4 felt like a freaking movie. It really did. It is so good. I love the 4th game. One of the most impressive story-based games I've ever played, I would say. Yeah. It even has like its own opening credits. Yeah. Will we get a 5th game? I don't know. I mean, yes, I know there's one with the daughter, but I have no interest playing that game. Yeah. Anyway, I love these four games. Nathan Drake will always hold a special place in my heart, being one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Yes. Thank you, Naughty Dog and Nathan Drake, for this amazing experience. Actually, no, isn't the voice actor is it Noah North? I don't want to get that wrong. Yeah, but I love these four games. What an experience this was. So much fun. Alright, 11 is Skyrim, or should I say the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Yes. When is Elder Scrolls 6 coming out? I don't know. But anyway, Skyrim was an experience. This game really was. This game was also kind of made for me. Fantasy, as I said before, is my favorite genre. And yeah, this game, man. You can go around the whole map with you on horseback if you wanted to. And I've kind of done that. Not the whole map, but still. And it's a big ass map. There's so much more. Each book of Skyrim you can literally make one freaking TV show on, I would say. Yeah, Skyrim is incredible. I did get stuck on this game at one point, but then I came back months later into the year and realized what I had done wrong and how to pass it. And I eventually passed that and I finished the game. I was so happy when I did. It was such a satisfying achievement that I managed to beat that dragon. I can't remember what I did, how I did it, but yeah. Anyway, Skyrim, such a great game. I love and adore this game for what it is. Yes, I'm so glad this is the only fantasy RPG game I completed. What an achievement this was, man. So good. Yeah, I love Skyrim. What an amazing experience this was. Alright, now for my top 10. Number 10 is Marvel's Spider-Man. Man, this game took what the Arkham games did and just amplified it. But for Spidey, the graphics were better, the story was very well done. Yes, I love Marvel Spider-Man. And I'm calling it that because that's what it's called. If I say Spider-Man, people might think, oh, the 2002 movie? No. The character? No. The game. Yeah. I love this game. It's a great game for what it is. Really, really enjoyable. I loved it. Alright, 9 is Marvel Spider-Man 2. As of right now, it's my favorite superhero based game ever. Yes, I mean, there's only 4 in this list. I do want to play Guardians of the Galaxy though, but I don't know if that's going to be like super high in the ranking because I've heard it's a short game. But anyway, I love this game. The story was done and handled better, in my opinion, a little more interesting. Yeah, and I'm very excited for the inevitable third and possibly final game in the trilogy. We'll see. For now, though, this is my favorite. I love this game. All right, number 8 is The Last of Us, and this has to be the best story-based game I've ever played thus far. The story, in terms of the story overall, it's my favorite. I love this game. It is such a great story, a fantastic game in general. It's funny. I watched the first season, then played the first game, but for the second season, I played the second game first, then watched the second season. I think I said that in my TV show ranking. Anyway, Last of Us, such a great game. I did get frustrated at times. I did die several times. I'm not like the best game ever, right? I'll admit that. But still, overall, I love The Last of Us. What an experience this was. Alright, number 7 is Hogwarts Legacy. And Harry Potter is still my favorite movie franchise of all time. So I have to put this game this high because this game was literally made for me. It's pretty much like Skyrim and steroids. It's basically the game I've been wanting for years now. It's pretty much you going around the world of like Hogwarts and stuff. You can fly on a broomstick, fly in a hippogriff, and I would say this is the game I was talking about before when I was saying like I never finished another story based game. This is that game. I played like 50, 70 plus hours in this game, which I know for some people it's not a lot. 100 plus hours is a lot, but for me that is a lot, I would say, especially because I never finished the game. But I loved Hogwarts Legacy. It was everything I wanted it to be and so much more. What an amazing game this was. Thank God the experience delivered. The story could have been better. I wasn't in love with it. I wish it was more from Harry's POV. That would have been even more incredible, but no, it wasn't. Alright, number 6 is Wii Sports, the first video game I played when I was a kid and I got personally, excluding one Crash Bandicoot game someone gave me, but this was the first actual video game that I personally got. Well, my parents got me, but still. And I love it. I still love it to this day because when I think back on it, it's just such a really fun game. And all these games I'm putting above like Hogwarts Legacy didn't frustrate me barely at all. You know, maybe here and there, but not really. And I know Wii Sports doesn't have a story, but for what it is, I love it. I mean, if I were to make a ranking of the 5 sports, I'll probably put boxing at 1, definitely boxing 1. then probably bowling at 2, golf at 3, tennis at 4, baseball at 5, maybe I would say. Yeah. And of course, the whole mat thing, that's obviously a me now. But yeah, I love Wii Sports. Such a great game for what it is. And I love that it's expanded so much now, the franchise. All right, number 5 is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This was the first game that had these characters crossover in this way, and it was the first Olympic Games game in this franchise overall. This was based on the Beijing game 2000, the Beijing 2008 games, and I'm pretty sure these games came out a year before the actual Olympic Games started. So I think this might have come out in '07. And without this game, I kid you not, this is a true story by the way. Without this game, I would have not fallen in love with Sonic and been introduced to Sonic. This game is the game that introduced me to Sonic and his friends. You know, to Shadow, Knuckles, Tails, Amy, Blaze, whatever. Even Eggman and Vector, I think that was his name, the crocodile. Yeah. Or alligator. Yeah. This game is the one that made me excited for the future Sonic movies, even Sonic 4 coming out next year. If it wasn't for this game, I don't think I would have been as excited for it. But this game, I really enjoyed. I got such a big kick and thrill out of unlocking a new event at the time when I was playing it when I was a kid. Yeah, man. Those were the days playing the Wii, man. I really miss the Wii. Now my cousin actually owns my Wii. We gave it to him and it's in Malaysia. But yeah, I'm glad that it's still somewhat alive and kicking, even though it might be running out of steam. All right, number 4 is GTA 5, or should I say Grand Theft Auto 5. This game is basically the game I like to call the ultimate lifestyle game. It's basically, what if you could live your ultimate life, or the or basically your dream lifestyle, your dream life. Hence why I say it's the ultimate alternate lifestyle game, I would say. My life now, I'm obviously happy for what it is, but in this game you get the cars, you get the girls, you get the fancy places. Yeah, you can punch people if you're frustrated, shoot them up. Obviously don't do that in real life. But yeah, it's just a really fun, enjoyable game. The story's pretty damn good too, I would say. But the game itself, like, it's so realistic. This is the most realistic video game I've ever played. And GTA 6 is coming this year, and they're going to top this, and the map's like 10 times bigger. What the hell are they going to do? I have no idea how they're doing. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, GTA 5, one of my favorite games of all time. I can't get enough of GTA 5. Well, it's been a while since I played it, but when I did, I was really into it. All right, number 3 is Mario Kart Wii. Yes, the only racing game on the Switch. Why? Because I'm not a big racing game guy. I've dabbled into some games, even on the mobile devices. But Mario Kart Wii is just so special to me. Again, much like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, when I unlocked either a new character, a new track, or whatever, a new course, I got so excited about it. It was so cool. So yeah, this game was fun. I loved it. It's Mario Kart Wii. If you know, you know. All right, number 2 is New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, while The Last of Us might be the best story-based game I've ever played, my personal favorite story-based game has to be New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This game is so special to me. It's the most nostalgic video game, I would say, to me. I remember getting up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, which funny enough, today is a Saturday. So there you go, 6 a.m. on a Saturday, and just getting up early to start World 2. And I remember my grandma, my mom's mom, was staying with us at that time, and how old people do like to get up early for the most part. And she was up and she was like, "Oh, why are you getting up early? Why are you already up?" I'm like, "Oh, I want to play the game." I don't know if it was her that said or my mom, but even then, still though, regardless, I love New Super Mario Bros. Wii for what it is. Like, just going through all the different worlds and all that, and the fact that this is also a co-op game too makes it even more fun and also stressful at the same time. I was so happy when I beat Bowser. I kid you not. It's funny though, a few years ago I went to someone's house and played this game on the Wii, and I felt rusty. I was like, what the hell happened to me? I got really rusty. Wow. Because I used to be so good at the game. I feel like as you get older, you start to forget things that you were good at when you're younger. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And finally, number 1. Oh yeah, before we go to number 1, I will say this. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, GTA 5, Mario Kart Wii, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I'll give all an 8.5 out of 10 to. I love those games so much that they get an 8.5. However, number 1 gets a 9. It's the only video game that gets a 9. Would that be a 10 out of 10 game I play? possibly. I've given movies 10s, shows not yet, but still it's possible. Anyway, the only game I've given a 9, my favorite video game of all time, still to this day, number 1 is Minecraft. You can make anything. You can do anything in a way that you want to in Minecraft. You know, survival mode is fun for what it is, but creative mode is where it's at. You can make so many things. I built so many things in Minecraft. Some I never even fully finished. Like, I wanted to make my own Disneyland, for God's sakes. Yeah. I tried building a shopping center, a zoo, or another theme park, or a hotel, a house, whatever, a roller coaster, water slide. So many things. Yeah. This is such a great game. I love Minecraft. I adore Minecraft. Minecraft is the game that I played the most amount of time. I've spent the most amount of time playing Minecraft in my life compared to any other video game. It's true. I'm not even joking. For like, when did I get this game? Like 2011 or 12? I can't remember. From like then to like 2020, like that stretch, I think that was the time that I was really into Minecraft. After that, not so much, but still, yeah. And that was like late primary school, throughout high school. Basically, I was so into Minecraft. I just loved it for what it was. Yeah, I love Minecraft, and that's why I was so excited for the movie last year. It was my most anticipated movie, hence, because of how much I love the game. It's my favorite game ever. So yeah, but anyway, that's it, guys. That is my ranking for every video game I've ever played. Yes, Minecraft may not have a story. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, yeah, I said it has a story. Minecraft Wii doesn't have a story, but you know what? That's okay. But even then, still, it's the game and the experience that counts, not just the story, right? So yeah, but guys, that's it. That is my ranking of every video game I played. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is already a long video as it is, so I'm not going to beat around the bush too much. And just say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.